Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Thanks for tuning in to Hot 702.5 FM. We are the hottest. You're listening to MVP Speaks Radio. Tune in every Thursday from 5 to 5:55 p.m. on Hot 702.5 FM for MVP Speaks Radio. Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to MVP Speaks Radio on Hot 702.5 FM. Woo! Y'all, today has been a doozy, but I'm happy to be here in the studio. I'm happy to be here with my special guest, Solid Truth. She is in the building today. So, okay, I really just need to take a breath. So anybody want to breathe with me? Let's just take a deep breath. And let's just breathe. It's hot. I don't know why I thought summer was over, because it's not. It's hot as a mug outside. And I was really not expecting the heat like it was. Solid Truth, say hello to the people.
Peace and love. Hello.
Did I mute?
Greetings to everyone. Hopefully you can hear me pretty good.
Yes, you're coming in loud
perfect.
and clear. My guest is in the building. Before we get to talking to her, I wanted to, of course, pull out our Be Inspired inspirational messages for today. Today I just have my little bag that I left in this beautiful establishment because I left my jar at home. So I'm happy that I leave them everywhere I go, because that means I always have them. So we're going to pull out these messages. Be Inspired inspirational messages is a perfect and amazing tool for you along your journey, for anyone, to help retrain the thoughts and reprogram the mind and keep the vibrations and the energies high. So let's see what came out today. Today I will be present because I am a gift. Today I will be present because I am a gift. It's so important to be in the present moment, because we can always be over there, but where we're really at is right here. The second one is don't trip. You are loved and supported. Along this journey, sometimes we can feel so unsupported and so unloved, but that's not true. We are loved, we are blessed, and we are supported, not just by the people in our lives, but the ones outside of our life, our ancestors, our divine guidance, whatever you believe in outside of yourself, always loved and supported. So don't trip. Don't trip. My vibration is super fly. Woo, that's a good one. My vibration is super fly. These messages are a great way to get your vibration fly. And the last one is laughter heals. Laughter is indeed the best medicine. There is some saying that goes around, I think it's from the Bible or something, but they say the joy scares the devil or something like that. So it's very true, because when you're laughing, I'm self-conscious on this video because I got this big pimple on my face. Anyways, when you are laughing, you are in a state of joy and happiness and harmony or whatever. So that is really the best highest vibration. So laugh as often as you can, and don't forget to share your joy with others. If you're finding yourself feeling a particular way, you can always choose something to laugh at. Go on to YouTube. The internet is engulfed with so much content that there's bound to be something on there that you can find and you can laugh at to help uplift your spirits, because that's important. So I want to remind you guys that we have a call-in line, so you can call in at any time during the show and talk to us. I've never had a call yet, so I'll be excited whenever that happens. who's going to be my first caller? The phone number is 702-551-5261. Say it again, 702-551-5261. And if you say it in a rhyme, you'll memorize it and you can call anytime. Well, you can't call me anytime. You can only call me Thursdays. But you can call anyone else when they're on the air. And also make sure you share this live if you're on the Facebook page or the YouTube watching. Share it with your friends. Let them know what's popping. MVP Speaks Radio Life, inspiration, arts, and entertainment. And speaking of arts and inspiration and entertainment, I want to introduce you guys to my wonderful guest. I'm so happy to have my sister with me. Her name is Solid Truth. I think she's getting herself together over there. So we're going to give her a second and she can get on there. I'm going to tell you guys the call-in number one more time in case you didn't hear me. 702-551-5261. That's the hot 702.5 FM call-in number. Make sure you follow the pages so that way you can stay updated on all their amazing shows. They have a great topics. I just saw Greg DeVille. He was in here. He was doing a show. He's like the realtor man. He knows all about that stuff. So if you're interested in learning about realty, make sure you follow him and check out his show that comes on right before mine. So, Solid.
Yes.
What's happening, girl? How are you?
How are you? Good to see you. Hi, everybody.
It is good to see you, and it is good to be seen. What's going on today, Solid? How is everything?
Well, things are going a lot better. I'm always positive, focused, and motivated because consistency leads to success. And although I've been going through a little bit of health issues and have to have some tests and some different things done, some procedures, I'm definitely in good spirits and still uplifted because of people like you who keep me smiling. And I loved your Be Inspired messages that you just read. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm happy that you are pushing through the health because, our health is our wealth, and you know as much as I know how much these positive affirmations and just the things we think and believe help us to achieve or not achieve whatever we want to achieve. So
definitely,
I'm proud of you. And I really wanted Solid to come on, and I want to, they say you got to give people their flowers while they're still here. And hey, Solid, you got a comment. Jeremy says, hey, Solid Truth.
Hi, Jeremy.
Jeremy Foreman.
Real good. How are
Brother
you?
Hinton Stinson says, greetings, goddesses. Greetings, brothers. Thank you for tuning in to this live.
Thank you.
If you don't know Solid Truth, you are missing out because I don't know anyone. I've been in Las Vegas 3 years, and I don't know anyone as motivated and what do you always say? And whatever she says.
Positive, focused, and motivated because consistency leads to success.
Yes, consistency leads to success. And I have, what is that? I have not known anybody that is quite as motivated as Solid Truth. And not only is she motivated, but she's consistent. We started really forming a closer relationship. Oh, that was the phone that was ringing. Oh, I didn't know what that noise was. I'm sorry. If you guys
got two phones, y'all. 2 phones.
If you guys called the call-in line, I need you to call back because it was sounding like a duck. I didn't know what it was. I told you I never had a call before. Call us back. We're going to pick up the phone. I don't want to say your phone number out loud, but I see you missed the call, so call us back. I'm sorry. Keith, Keith says hello.
Hi,
hello, Solid
Mr. Davis. How are you?
Solid got her whole crew on the line. I'm liking it. I'm vibing with it. That's good stuff. So, as I was saying, I've been getting closer to Solid Truth and just doing specific poetry events. She's always very mindful to make sure to get as many recordings and pictures and just promoting like crazy. I feel like she's an all-star promoter. And I applaud your consistency for that. Sometimes Solid will tell me, like, remind people about my stuff. And I'm like, dang, Solid, that's why you the truth. That's exactly why you the truth, because I'll be forgetting and she'll pick up the slack. So if you don't follow her, make sure you follow Solid Truth. She knows what's happening around town. She knows who's who and what's what. So that's what I wanted to say. Okay. I appreciate you and I love you.
How can you follow me? If you're not already following me, there's several different ways because, again, I'm Solid Truth. I am a spoken word artist and motivational speaker. I'm a domestic violence survivor. I'm also a 16-year resident of Las Vegas. And so when I got here, I didn't see a lot of opportunities for me to easily, not that they weren't available, I just couldn't easily find what I was looking for, which was culture. I looked for culture. I looked for where brown and black people were. I looked for things that I had already experienced in my life. So I started Follow the Fro, which is FOLLOWTHAFRO. And the way you can easily remember that is the last four letters are Afro. So Afro.
Nice.
So follow the fro, not follow that fro, not follow the fro, but follow the fro. And if you follow the fro, you'll find things that are motivational, educational, inspirational, and informational. And the reason that I did that was because a lot of people come to Las Vegas and they say, oh, there's no poetry in Las Vegas, or there's no culture in Las Vegas, or where can I find the black-owned businesses in Las Vegas, or even just where do the locals hang out? So I started doing that maybe about 13 years ago, and it kind of caught on. You can also follow me specifically to find out where I am. If you could follow me at Solid Truth, SOLIDTRUTH, and you can follow me at Solid Truth LV on Instagram. I promote a little bit of everything. I promote what I do. I promote for what MVP does. I promote what all the people who I love and that support me. I promote everything that they do. But if you need something specific and you don't see it and you can't find it, you can just text me. I'm easy to find. You can Google me, and I'll definitely tell you where the happenings are. And if you know of something that you think I'd be interested in, or something that I would support, or something you'd like for me to share, you can do that too. So I appreciate everybody who already follows me, and tell a friend to follow a friend.
Yes. Thanks, Solid Truth. You're so awesome. Yeah, follow her. Follow the fro. I love that. And I love how it's Afro. That's why it's the fro.
Afro.
Beautiful. We got to embrace our natural selves and love ourselves as we are. And so that's pretty exciting. So do you want us to talk about anything specific? Like, what's on your mind today, Solid Truth?
Well, for those of you who don't know me, SOLID, SOLID, stands for Socially Organizing and Literally Inspiring Desire. And I started calling myself Solid probably about 14, 15 years ago. I used to be known as Miss Peaches, so for all those people from Lancaster, South Carolina, Philadelphia, and New Jersey who remember me as Miss Peaches, I'm still Miss Peaches on the inside, but Miss Peaches was a soft, squishy fruit that was easily bruised.
That. And must be sweet.
Yeah, I was definitely very sweet, very nice, very soft-spoken, and like I said, easily bruised. I am a domestic violence survivor. A lot of people don't really know how I came to be Solid. I was getting my life together when I moved out here to take care of my dad, whose birthday is today, my heavenly dad's birthday. Aww. He's passed away 12 years ago, and today is his birthday, so shout out to James McClinton Roan Jr., my father, and thank you for helping me get here, and I'm here now.
That's so special. I just want to interrupt you really quick. I think it's very awesome that you are here on your father's birthday.
Yeah.
That's special. My father has transitioned. I have two daddies. Okay. One is in heaven and one is still alive. My biological father transitioned. So I can relate to that, and I'm happy that you're here. And
thank you.
What's his name? James?
James. We call him Jim. His name was JR. We call him Jim, or I call him Daddy, but
right.
Everybody else called him JR, and he lived here in Las Vegas. He actually is the one who got me into promoting. He started bringing me out here in the 80s to spend the summers, and when he got sick, he brought me and my children out here. He pretty much saved us because we lived in an area that was with a lot of love. We had a lot of love. We had a lot of people who loved us and cared for us. But it was a pretty toxic environment, and I had begun to have some patterns of behavior and some different things in my life that needed addressing. And, of course, as a daddy, he's going to try to save you. And that's what he did. He brought me and my kids out here in 2006, August to be exact. And after seeing that I was still continuing that pattern, I went to the Safe House. Shout out to the Safe House. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and
awesome.
Were it not for the Safe House of Nevada, I don't think I would have gotten my life together. I felt I was pretty smart. I had a very good support system. I had people who loved me. I wasn't immediately in an abusive relationship, but it had become a pattern. And so I went to the Safe House with me and my kids, and they gave us the tools and the resources to get back on track, to understand the trauma that we've been through, to get the healing and the support that we needed, and to be educated about why these things happen in our culture, in our families, generationally, and it keeps perpetuating itself. So rather than be ashamed of who I was, I embraced the program. And the one thing that they decided that I really needed was anger management. I had a lot of internal anger, and they told me to choose something creative to help channel and to help to transmute that negative energy. And so I chose writing because if anybody knows me from being in school, I was the little black nerd back in Kershaw, Chislehurst. Shout out to Chislehurst, New Jersey. Shout out to South Philadelphia and the after-school programs and the lunch programs and all my family. So, they know I was the little black nerd. They knew I was the one who, she's always reading. She's always going to the library. She's always asking questions. And I just wasn't educated about why I was the way I was. So the Safe House gave me this creative program, and I decided to write because that's what I love to do. And after writing for months and months and months, I started to share some of the things that I wrote with the women who were in my group. And they would get so emotional. They would get overwhelmed. And they was like, oh, my God, you got to share that. You got to publish that. I never thought about that because to me it was just like downloads that were just coming into my head that were kind of helping me to feel empowered and helping me to feel stronger and helping me to feel better. So I actually just started like going out on the strip and taking the Double Deuce bus and going around town. I started looking for other people who wrote and people who spoke, and then I was introduced to some local poets here in Las Vegas, and that was 16 years ago. And now I've done over 500 performances here. I've done radio, I've done recordings, I've promoted and done a whole bunch of things, but it actually got started because I needed something to help me understand who I was and help me to speak my voice and to channel my positive energy. And so I decided rather than to continue to talk about the domestic violence history that I had gone through for over 30 years, I decided to help uplift and inspire. And that's how I became Solid.
Wow, Solid. That's amazing. What a great story, you guys. Leave a comment for Solid. She has survived, and not only has she survived, but she has taken what she's been through and created something beautiful with it. And I think that's admirable, and I think that's what we can all, take from this. If you don't take anything from this, remember, like, no matter what you've been through, you transmute that energy, you turn it into something good for you, because that's what we got to do.
That's what we're here for.
That's what we got to do. We think sometimes we go through something and, we can hold on to it for a long time, or even if it's not a long time, we can just hold on to it, and it changes us.
Yeah.
And so in order to change what's changed us, we got to change ourselves.
Definitely. That's a great transition.
Yes.
So if you don't mind, if I could just share one of
your
my
yes.
poems.
Changes.
This was the poem that I actually started doing in group with the young ladies. And if you don't know, I'm not necessarily, I'm a poet, but I prefer to use the term motivational speaker because I am a speaker and I do write poetry, but I do try to empower and uplift people. So shelters, schools, after school programs, nonprofit organizations, individuals, nursing homes. Those are the types of people who actually I think will benefit a lot more from the encouragement that I share. But of course, I love poetry and I love to hear poetry, so you'll see me pop up. But this piece is called Changes, and it's one of my signature pieces. I actually did donate this piece to the Safe House, and I'm going to be able to publish, I'm hoping this year, 1,000 copies for all of the women who come through the Safe House program that are survivors of domestic violence or transitioning into their program, where they and their children will have a copy of this poem to take with them wherever they go. So it's called Changes. Your mind changes. Your attitude changes. Your feelings change. Your thoughts are frequently rearranged. Now, life can be hard and sometimes tough, but the changes in your life should be enough to change you into a better being. You see, with eyes wide open, you begin seeing things as they really are and not the ways you wish they were. You see, manipulation is contemplating what you must do to get someone else to react the way you want them to. But by setting your expectations too high or forcing the issue, you'll often be disappointed. So change your ways of thinking and the ways that you react, and maybe someone else will see and change the way they act. You see, life changes you, so change your life for the better. Congratulations. We are all preparing for change. Peace and love from Solid Truth.
Yes. Are you guys clapping? Put some claps in the comments if you're commenting on one of these platforms. That's a beautiful poem. So let's see what the comment says. Powerful, powerful journey, Keith Davis says. And Keith says powerful. Yes. They say nothing's consistent but change.
Yeah.
And even if you probably think you're not really changing, something's changing. But it's when you're intentional with your change, when you choose your change. I can relate, I have had some situations in my life. And, it's so interesting. I applaud you for telling your story, for even saying I'm a domestic violence survivor. And I myself have been through some things, and I'm thinking dang, am I a domestic violence survivor too? I never wanted to label it, but abuse is abuse, no matter which way it comes from, if it's emotional, physical, mental, or whatever. And one of the things that helped me along my journey was making that decision to change, making that decision not to stay. One of my exes used to tell me, because we didn't have the best relationship, but he used to be like, oh, you're always writing this sad stuff in your notebook. You're always going to be sad. And he was right. At the time, I wasn't trying to hear it because, bro, you're the one making me sad. What's wrong? But, when I look back, I realized that's right. I was focusing so much on what was going wrong. And I was able to redirect myself and choose to write about something different and choose to be inspiring and uplifting. And that's dope.
Yeah. I think depending on where you are in your phase of development and in your journey, just say, that you're going to go on a vacation to Dubai and you've been waiting your whole life to go to Dubai. Okay, well, you got to envision it first. You got to dream about it first. You got to find out what you need, and you have to pack. And you might have to pack. You might have to unpack. You might have to pay a little bit extra for some of the baggage that you take with you.
Right.
You might have to decide I ain't going to take all of that because, first of all, they ain't going to let me wear that anyway or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, for me, I've been writing my whole life, but I just, maybe since we've been working together, I just decided to take all my poems and put them in chronological order.
Oh,
woo.
Wow.
When I tell you, when you look at your life in words through your own voice, you start to see where your mind frame and your mindset was. Now, I cannot judge the young lady who went through the domestic violence. I cannot judge the girl who fell in love and wrote all of these poems about a relationship that probably wasn't necessarily the best for me. But what I can do is I can acknowledge those things and I can share them with other people. Yeah. And hopefully they can be empowered by that. But again, that's just one moment. That's one snapshot in time. And you talked about why I take pictures. I take pictures because, first of all, my grandfather was a photographer. My uncle was a photographer. I love to take pictures. My son, he's a photographer. And the reason why we do that is because there's a moment in time that you might want to capture, that you might want to remember. And with all the Alzheimer's and all the different things that are going on, I understood that when my grandmother got into her last phase of Alzheimer's, she remembered everyone in those pictures. She may not have remembered our name or anything, but she remembered those pictures. So think of it as a snapshot, and it's just a moment. It's just a moment of your life. It's just a page on a book in the many chapters of your life. And if you cannot judge yourself by that, you may be able to release that and say, hey, that moment helped me to get to this moment. And that's what made me who I am today. And that's the way I look at it, because I can't judge myself based on my past. I can only look forward to my future. Had it not been for those things, I might not even be here talking to you. So sounds like you have a caller.
I tried to take the call. I answered it, but they hung up or something happened. So call back, you guys. If you call, I'm going to answer. Just hold on until we say something. Don't hang up on us. But
yeah, I think that's a great way of looking at it. And I think I talked to a young lady the other day, and she's a writer. She does poetry, and she was when I listened to what she does and what she brings to the table. For a long time, it's been the same thing, and that's wonderful if that's your journey, if that's your story. Mm-hmm. But what I recognize, and I know you know this to be true. Words are powerful. Mm-hmm. You speak your life into existence. Mm-hmm. So if I decided to stay in domestic violence and talk about domestic violence for the last 16 years, what do you think I would have attracted? What do you think I would have been telling the universe that I either wanted, needed, or repeated in my life? So I made a conscious decision to specifically not talk about the trauma. I talk about that to my therapist. I talk about that to my family and my children. I talk about that to my higher power. But I don't put those words in writing. And it's not to judge anyone who does. It's just that that's what I chose to do, because I knew that, I know how powerful those words were. And if I look back at all of the poems that I've written, those words have been manifested as true in my life. And it's amazing to just look at them in chronological order and see how quickly those things were revealed to be true. And I mean, when I say true, I mean I'm solid truth. So true is like not a lie. This can be documented. This can, someone else can say, hey, okay, she did that. So think about that. You know, what you write, the attitude that you project, the words that you put forward, the network of people that you keep around you. Think about those things, because you creating your own, to me, your own movie, your own story. You're creating your own existence. Yes. And or if not creating it, you're documenting it. So yeah, I want to remember the good parts.
Yeah, that's so important. There's a couple things you said that I wanted to touch on, like that self-judgment. For me, I feel like that is my biggest hiccup or hang-up. Is judging myself. And even when I was judging myself, I'd be like, don't judge yourself. Don't judge yourself. But if you're just used to being in that, oh, I should have done this, or maybe blah, blah, blah. But if you don't judge yourself, then you free yourself. The judgment, I feel like it holds you in prison. And when you talked about we know words are power. And I heard something one time, and it just made me really, it put a good visual on it. It was saying that, when you speak, you put your word out ahead of you, and you're going to catch up to it. So just imagine that you're speaking right now, and your words are going out into the universe, and you're going to catch up with them. You don't know necessarily when you're going to catch up with them, but you're going to catch up with whatever you say. So always do your best to speak positive. But we also can speak our truth. Like, we can talk about Definitely. That we've been through some things. Yes. And this is what for myself, I've realized that, if I can talk about it without getting emotional, then I'm most likely healed from it. Like, I'm most likely, accepted that's what it was. I'm over it. I'm not too emotionally attached. But if I'm talking about something and I'm still, like, emotional about it, then personally, for myself, I feel like, I still have a little bit of work to do in that area. And that's all right. Like, we don't know how long it's going to take for us to get where we're going from where we came from. Right. And so we have to keep it, keep in mind that, what the thing say in the beginning, be present. Like, be present where you're at, because we can't even go over there, and we can't go back there. We just right here. I'm here right now with Solid Truth on Hot 702.5 FM. We're here every Thursday from 5 until 5:55 for the MVP Speaks radio show, Speaking Life, inspiration, arts, and entertainment. And I need to shout out my sponsor, Miss Addie B and Family. Oh, there's a phone. It's ringing. Miss Addie B and Family. Hello, you've reached the MVP Speaks radio.
Hello, this is Keith Davis. Can you hear me?
Yes, Keith, we hear you loud and clear. What's popping, Keith? You're my first caller on my radio show. Hey,
Mr. Davis.
Well, I just want to say that your radio background now is on the internet. When I was doing it, I did it on the internet where there's no video, and I did live radio. But one of the things that I like to say is that Solid, which I knew her at that time as Peaches in 2006, and I invited her on my radio show, and it was just so powerful what I just envisioned where she is today. And so I just want to give her kudos for continuing her journey. And that's one of the things that you have to do. You just have to continue your journey. And I remember one time I was struggling with, who moved my cheese. And I invited Solid to come in and do a poem in front of a lot of people on who moved my cheese, because at that time in 2007, 2008, people were struggling. And as she does, people are still struggling, and even from where she came from, and there's still a lot of help that needs to be done. So with her journey and what she has put together, it's just so very powerful, and I would just like to give her 100% kudos. I definitely will support her, and I know she said she wanted, get 1,000, things to reach out to people. I would definitely donate towards that so she can do that, because it's important that we help each other, that we help individuals out there that need help, because she didn't get where she came by just no one helping her. So I just want to just give you 100% kudos. And then on your radio show, I'd like to give you 100% kudos on what you're doing, because you're making a difference in this world today. So thank you.
Thank you, Keith, for calling in. Solid, this is your friend.
Hi, Mr. Davis. Thank you so much for calling in. And yes, he did help me a long time ago and has been continuously helping me. Before Zoom was out, he and I were doing those teleconferences, and he introduced me to a wide network of people and has always been supportive of everything that I've done. And he has his own show also, kdshow.com. Is that correct, Mr. Davis? He's working right now with Care Beyond and Care Blue, so we're actually talking about clean water and bringing clean water to places where they don't have it. So we'll be able to come back another time, or maybe he could actually be a sponsor.
Yes, that would be awesome.
We would love that. But we appreciate you, and thank you so much
for thank you, Solid. But I always say it's not about me. It's about what you all are doing. Now, I just want to say this. I have a mother, a sister, a wife, a daughter, and granddaughters, and you all are making a difference, coming together as women, and my 100% respect for women. I just continue doing it, because definitely you're changing the world, and just continue to do that, because I have utmost respect for you. And my goal is to go out there and teach these young men and middle-aged men that women are definitely making a difference in the world today, and they need to catch up and understand that it's not about you, it's about togetherness, you can make all this happen in the world, especially Black Americans and Black, brown, or indifferent. Let's come together and let's make a difference, because our children definitely are the future.
Yes. And, you know, I'm so happy you said our children are the future. I believe our children are the now, because if we tap into how they are now, we're going to really learn some things. And I know this is our show and whatnot, but we want to honor you because you're doing some work in the community too. You have a show, and that's important. And if we're all going to come together, then we're going to talk about what Solid got going on, what I got going on, and what you got going on, Mr. Keith. So don't try to shy away from what you got, because you might need me to come on your show and be a guest. So what you got, Mr. Keith? Tell us about what you got.
Yeah, well, you know, I go step by step because I'm about 6'6", about maybe 230. But as I take one step forward, I'm definitely noticed. But I continue to keep that that 1 foot in front of the other, sharing what we can do and help each other. So let's just keep it moving forward. Yes. Keep it moving, because that's the only way that we're going to move ahead.
Ashe, I received that. That's so true.
Thank you so much for calling, Mr. Davidson. I look forward to seeing and hearing from you soon, and actually being a guest on your show, and hopefully we can bring in MVP Speak so she can talk about what she's got.
You're welcome. Thank you.
For sure.
Thanks for taking my call.
Say amazing.
So that poem that he loves so much, he really loves this poem, you guys. He's given me an opportunity to speak in front of hundreds and hundreds of people, his close personal friends, family, and business associates. And it is a piece that I do for fundraisers. I do quite a bit of nonprofit fundraising. I like to work behind the scenes specifically because, to me, nonprofit fundraising is like... it's like near and dear to my heart, but I have some pet projects that I really like to work on, and if I see that they have a need to raise capital, to raise awareness, then I'll definitely come in and do something for them. So this piece is called Who Moved My Cheese?
Oh, yeah, I like this one.
People are starving. People are hungry. Well, how can that be when there's so much money? Everywhere I look, people want to be rich. Some people hate, and some people snitch. Some people lie, and we all know some people steal. Some people, well, they'll do anything to get a meal. But do you really get the value of what some things cost? And shouldn't the people who work the hardest get to eat the most? Are we really being left out if we don't follow their lead? Maybe more of us should ask, who moved my cheese? So instead of just waiting on a check or slots to pay off big, maybe we should be trying to line up another gig. So while I sit here, hungry, lost, and confused, another mouse is plotting on how I might be used. Now we all have needs and we all want to eat. Some of us are leaning while others stand on both feet. But when it's all said and done, there'll be one question asked, and only one. So, will somebody tell me, please, who in the world moved my cheese?
Nice.
Thank you.
Leave your comments on that poem, you guys, if you want to, or call in 702-551-5261. We want to shout out to Keith for calling in.
Thank you.
Shout out to Solid Truth for that poem.
And speaking of who moved my cheese, I have a friend, a very dear friend. Her name's Kawana Thompson and her daughter.
Hey, that's my high school friend.
Yes, hopefully
I love Kawana.
Call in.
Kawana, call us, girl.
Kawana,
We go way back.
702-551-5261. If you are listening, Kawana, please call in. But she has a beautiful daughter named Heaven, and Heaven is... she's like, I call her my goddaughter. I know she probably got a real godmom out there, but she's my goddaughter because God brought her into my life. She and my daughter and another young lady, Alexia Brown, they all have the same birthday, January 2nd. And they met 16 years ago, and we have been like family and friends ever since. So she brought Heaven into our lives, and then Heaven brought Monroe Wright into our lives. And if you can, follow Monroe Wright on social media. Yes. She has a wonderful organization, and she has her own products. She sells T-shirts and hats and that represent Love is Blind. She's not sighted. She was born with no eyes. And then right now, Heaven she is battling and winning against her fight with cancer. And she's also looking for a bone marrow transplant. So if you could follow them, all their information is on there. You can actually read their story. To me, they're like the best gift that you can get for recognition, for healing, for gratitude, for family. Been a very supportive aspect of my lives, and like I said, it's just me and my 2 kids here in Las Vegas. We don't have any more family, and they are our extended family. So we want to thank them. Also, Cowie, you grew up with them, both of them. So hopefully, you ladies
Pacific
will be able to
High
call
School
in.
crew. What it do? Yeah.
And so it's amazing because with the 6 degrees of separation, I met MVP through a mutual friend while I was working at Africa Love Store.
Shout out to the Africa Love Store.
She was like, I think she wasn't not necessarily new to the poetry scene, but she was just like she started sharing her stuff, and she sent me her SoundCloud, and I started following her. She started following me, and then later on, probably a few months later, she moved out here, and we ended up meeting. And when the first time that we actually got to meet in person, Kawana was like, "Hey, that's my girlfriend from high school," and I was like, "It's such a small world." 'Cause she's from Milwaukee, right? Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And who knew that we were actually going to be in a circle of influence for each other and empowering each other. So thankfully.
I'm so grateful for Solid. She has really shown her solidness, and I always say that, girl, you stand by your name for real.
Got to, girl.
And that's what's up. Yeah, Kawana's my high school friend. Cowie, like, we all went to school together back in the day, so it's definitely a small world. It's interesting, like, what, like, and it's funny because I be trying to think back to them days, like, dang, how was I back in them days? I don't even remember, like, who I was. But I was going to say, I was going to talk about Monroe, because the first time I met Monroe, she literally, like, blessed my life. Like, I can't even explain it. I've been on this journey to myself for quite some time. And one of my things that I love to do is sing. Now, I am not confident that I can sing, but I know that I probably can if I believed in myself. So I was having this situation where I was going back and forth about singing, and, you know, I was like, I'm just going to sing at this next open mic, like I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, whatever. And so I get in the car right after having this whole conversation with myself or with somebody else, and Monroe is in the back seat. And I can't remember exactly what song she started singing. It was Stevie Wonder or Michael Jackson. And all she said to me, she said, "Okay, now you sing." And I was like, oh, snap. I really got to sing. And she was like directing me. And it was so phenomenal because I was like, this little girl doesn't even know that I really like want some singing lessons. And she's really in the back seat like, okay, now sing. And you sing this part and I'll sing this part. It was so amazing. But she truly touched my heart. And so I tagged her page on the comments. So I want everyone that's watching this to go follow her page. Go support her. She is a bright, beautiful young child. And if you can help support whatever she's needing for her bone marrow. Is that for Monroe?
No, Heaven actually needs the bone marrow transplant, but you can actually purchase products from Monroe and support her business, which Heaven helps to run.
Oh, nice.
And then, but Heaven's information is also available there, and you can find out how you can actually submit your information so you can be considered to be a bone marrow donor, or you can donate to her GoFundMe. Okay. And I'll put those things on my page, but it's much better if you go to Monroe's page, because then that way you get to meet her. She's
to that baby girl's page.
Superstar.
How old is she again?
Monroe is 9, going on 90.
9 years alive. Yes. I'm trying to stop saying how old is somebody, because that goes back to that word
9
stuff
physical
that we,
years, but spiritually, I think she's definitely been here before. Wonderfully talented, and she just steals the show. She actually recites my poetry with me, you have to hear her. You have to see her.
Please hold the line. Please hold the line. Oh, hello. You've reached MVP Speaks Radio. Who's this?
Turn down whatever's in the background.
This is Kawana Thompson, a good friend of.
Girl, hey. Turn down.
That's Monroe.
Yes. Turn down something.
She said she's at the park.
She's at the park. Oh, hey, girl.
I moved out the way, but I'm a good friend of Solid and MVP. I just wanted to call in and be supportive of both of my good friends and say how proud I am of them both.
Oh, we love you, girl.
Thank you. We appreciate you. And we thank you so much for being supportive and sharing your family with us. And I don't know if Monroe's around anywhere, but if she is, I would really love for her to be able to say hi.
She is. We're at the baseball game, but let me put her on the phone.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh, children are the best.
Well,
They're my
it's
favorite.
solid. She wants you to say hi.
Hi, Solid.
Hi, Monroe. How are you?
Good.
Do you know you're on the radio right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, excuse me. Well, tell everybody who you are.
Is this the radio?
Yes, it is.
Yes, you're on MVP Speaks Radio.
So, we're just at the baseball game.
Are you having a good time?
Yes.
And if anybody wants to follow you, how can they find you online?
Yeah.
You're on the radio?
Yep.
So, can we find you at Monroe Wright on Instagram? And you have a website too? Can you hear me really well?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell them for you, okay? And then, so maybe one day you can call in when you're less distracted and talk to MVP about your business.
Okay.
Okay? Well,
You're awesome, girl.
I don't want you to miss out on having your fun, but thank you for calling in and thank you for saying hello, and I'll see you later.
Bye, Monroe.
Okay, bye.
We love
We
you.
love
Stay
you.
amazing.
I love you, everybody.
Love you, sweetie.
Oh, I felt it when she said that.
She's such a beautiful
Oh.
spirit. Kawana, if you don't hang up.
You guys, you know, one of
Monroe
my
loves to
best,
hang up when she
one of
get
my
finished talking.
best memories of Kawana is when she made me a chocolate cake at the mother frickin', what was that, cakewalk? Oh my God, it was, I won the cakewalk. It was a little thing we did in high school. We had to like musical chairs, I think. Anyways, I won, and that was the best cake. I still remember after all these years how it looked and how it tasted. I couldn't believe she made that. Oh, amazing.
Amen.
Well, I definitely wanted Kawana to be
Amen.
able to tell us a little about her background because she's actually been able to be a great support person for me.
Yes, I let her crack the egg, stir it up, do what she want to
She better
do.
talk about cake.
You know, she a bossy little thing. Her new thing right now is, girl, if I open the door, if I push the elevator, if I flush the toilet, she gets really upset because she wants to do it first.
Oh,
And
man.
the message is in that, what she is teaching us is, yeah, I may be blind, but I'm not dumb. I can
Right.
do everything you do. And that's what, yeah.
For
She
sure.
makes us respect her, and I'm very proud of my grandbaby for that.
Oh, we're proud of you.
You are. And she, like I
Amen.
said, she's been able to, between her, Heaven and Kawana, Monroe is, to me, she's a very unique young lady because she's very gifted and talented and very rambunctious. We sometimes forget that she's blind because she can do anything
Right.
anybody else can do and a lot more. I mean,
Yeah, I'm about to say
Yeah.
she
she
does
probably
a lot more than I do. She makes me step my game up. So,
Yes,
Kawana, I know it's really
absolutely.
noisy where you are, but hopefully you can call back in and talk to MVP and maybe just call and talk to her about the psychosocial rehabilitation and those types of things that you're involved in, and how you actually help with the community projects here in Las Vegas. But we appreciate you calling in.
Yes, girl. Thank you.
Amen.
You're awesome.
And how can we support Heaven in her search for a bone marrow?
Well,
no.
prayer first of all, and it's just hit and miss. So I'm initiating and promoting her and encouraging her to take it day by day. So it's really hit and miss. She doesn't have a day where she can say, "Oh, call me Thursday." So it's just about day to day and how she's feeling in that moment. So prayers are the first thing we can ask for and pray for.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate you for sharing that, and I will let you get back to the game because it sounds like Monroe is having a great time.
So
and
fun.
She ain't even thinking
Yes,
about being
she
on the radio
is.
with Auntie Solid today.
Yeah, I need her to come
Right.
back so she can sing me some songs.
Yes, tell Monroe she
Absolutely.
can be her own guest. Maybe one day she can schedule that with
Right.
MVP.
Well, I will support as much as I can, and God bless.
We
And
love you. Thanks,
talk to
sis.
you guys later.
All
Peace
right,
and
thanks
love.
for
Okay.
calling.
Bye.
All right.
Bye, Monroe.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
Rolly. I'll talk to you later. Love you.
Oh, she is the
Is.
freaking best.
You can't help but smile, and she's like, we've been with her since she was born, and when I tell you, it was a shock to us for her being born with no eyes, but no matter what we did, like Kawana and them, they have a big family, so that she's always cooking, she's always having guests, she's always doing stuff. Rolly danced as a baby. She did everything all the other kids did. The first time I saw her play hide and seek with her cousins and was like fighting, and I mean, she was doing the thing, and it was like she could see. And so we don't treat her as if she's disabled. We treat her as if she has extra abilities.
Yes,
because she
I
really
agree.
does. And she loves my son. She loves my daughter. She's so mature. She sings. She dances. She acts. She has her IMDb account. She does voiceover. She does gymnastics, yoga, hiking. She does more than I do, and she makes me step my game up. So this is the reason that I tell you is like I empower others because I have such an empowering group of people around me. So I definitely wanted to send a shout out and a very big thanks to Monroe, Heaven, and Kawana because they helped me to stay encouraged through whatever I'm going through. And no matter what they have come across as challenges, they've definitely been a uplifting and a very high-spirited family for me, so I appreciate that.
That's beautiful, and I appreciate it. I'm glad that they called and came on, and we're even having this discussion because, you know, what I'm getting along this journey is sometimes we let what we see with our physical eyes really distract us from, like, the spiritualness of ourselves, and so just because somebody can't see or doesn't have that, it really doesn't mean anything.
Right.
I mean, we can call it a disability, but I don't even necessarily think it's a disability. I think it just enables her to do more with her other abilities.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And they say, like, people that are blind, like, their hearing is 20 times better. If they can't hear, their sight is 20 times better. So it's all up in there.
Definitely. Well, I know it's been a great hour. I definitely want to be able to get in a couple of other announcements before we go,
Yeah,
if
let's
that's
go.
okay with
Go
you.
ahead, go
So
ahead.
MVP and I, we actually host a ladies' night along with Jen from Japan at Sin City Seafood, which is on Bonneville and 3rd here in Las Vegas. It's called Spit of Verse, and it was organized by C-Bone Jones, and the sponsor is True Legacy Vodka. This Tuesday coming up, October 4th, we have the famous, the fabulous, the outstanding, phenomenal poetess from Chicago, Miss Emerald Green. So
She's
it's
fire.
a free show, you guys. Come by. Make sure that you come early. It's an intimate venue. It's Sin City Seafood. It's a restaurant here, black-owned restaurant here in Las Vegas. Right down in the Arts District. You guys can come through and support. There's lots of spoken word here in Las Vegas. There's different levels of spoken word. There's open mics, there's features, there's people who do the academic side, there's people who actually are writing and just doing their poetry on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, and then there's people who write and are professionally publishing their work and touring all over the country and all over the world. And shout out to the ones that have gotten movie deals and commercials. So there is a spoken word community here in Las Vegas. I'll be talking a lot more about that as time goes on. Me and MVP do several shows. She does a show on Wednesday night, Spit Your Truth with Well the Truth. Shout out to him. That's every Wednesday right now at Mixer.
The Mixer Lounge on Twain.
Mixer Lounge on Twain. And then again, you can follow Spit a Verse, just like it sounds, Spit a Verse on IG. And then another shout out to Zena Foreman at All Together Now, 6625 South Valley View, Unit 414. She has a clothing store, and we love you all. Thank you so much for your support over the years. Peace and love from Solid Truth.
All right. So you guys, this has been an awesome show. It never seems like it's enough time up in this place. Like, we just want to keep talking and keep going. But tune in next Thursday at 5 o'clock for MVP Speaks Radio. You can follow Solid Truth, follow Hot 702.5 FM, follow MVP Speaks. And, yeah, that's it, you guys.
And buy a t-shirt. Buy a Solid
buy
Truth
some
t-shirt.
Buy some merch. Buy some merch.
Buy some merchandise.
We love you
Definitely
guys.
Follow the fro.
Peace and love.